All right.
We're
Get
back.
on in here.
Get in here, bitchlings.
Yes.
It's time for another episode of Who's the Bitch?
Yes, get your balls up. Or if it's the middle of your work day, I guess put your balls down.
Yeah,
But
probably don't bring your balls to work if you're talking about buzz balls.
yet if you're not talking about buzz balls, I guess do whatever you want with your balls.
Yeah.
We're not here to tell you what to
Not
do with them.
whatever you want, but yes.
I guess you think about it first before you ball hard out there.
Recently, my son said to my husband, "What's in there?" About his balls. What's in there? And what a great question.
What did Jared respond
He said,
with?
nothing but trouble. I don't remember what he told him.
That is a really
he's
great
4,
response,
like
though.
his balls aren't even really all the way there yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Are they full up then? Is that what you have? Is
I
there
don't know.
sacks in there then?
It feels sort of deflated. I don't know. Maybe my son doesn't have testicles. It's possible.
Who knows?
Hi, Oscar. I hope you're watching this in the year 2035 being like, why is my mom talking
about my
me?
testicles. Yeah.
Wait. By the way, I'm Kara Klenk.
Oh, I'm Jackie Zabrowski. Welcome to Who's the
Who's the Bitch.
Yes, we're cheersing. I know it's a wine glass. I got coffee in my wine glass. So I don't want anyone writing in being like, Jackie, you've got a problem.
Another story about my son is that we took my kids to dinner on Valentine's Day. We took them to a place they like, and they had dinner because then my husband and I later called in, got takeout. And had
so it was a
nice
double
little
dinner. Okay.
Yeah, but so for their dinner, we took them to this place they like to go to, and we're just sitting there and we're having a nice time and we're chatting. We're playing this game where can you name all the animals, like A, B, C, going around the alphabet doing animals. And Oscar out of nowhere just goes, "Who's the bitch?"
What?
Out of nowhere.
What?
Out of nowhere at this restaurant. And I was like, dude, how do you even know? Definitely.
Is he promoting us?
I know.
Is he our new PR guy?
And he didn't say it that loud, but they're like, it is a place that's kid friendly. So I go, Oscar, don't say that in front of other kids. You can say that in front of adults, but you can't say that in front of kids. And because it is the name of a project that I work on. So I can't be like, you can never say that.
Right.
So I'm like, that's an adult name of a show. You can't say that in front of other kids. And he was just grinning ear to ear going, "Who's the bitch?"
Oh no.
It was
of course, the
so
second
funny.
you say it too, how do you stop that? As it comes out of your mouth when you're like, don't say that again, you're like, oh, now I know I just made him have a bit.
Well,
oh good, I just gave him a bit.
Jared will say, "Oh, do you have Who's the Bitch later?" He doesn't think the kids are listening to us, and they are always fucking listening to us. I just thought it was so cute, and I was like, I can't wait to tell the podcast. I can't wait to tell the bitchlings.
Oh my God, guys, we have a new PR manager, and I don't know what kind of stuff he's gonna get.
He has
us
no
into.
testicles, and his name is Oscar,
and he's ready for hijinks. I tell you what, he's got no testicles, and he's 4 years old.
But speaking of testicles,
speaking of testicles,
thank you everybody that tuned into the Bitchathon on February 12th.
It was so wonderful.
Such a fun time. We had Amber Nelson there helping us take calls. We had our husbands. If you haven't checked it out, it's live on YouTube. You can watch it. And in the last hour, our husbands, Jeff and Jared, join us in matching caftans. And take a couple of calls with us. And we had a real blast. So obviously,
I kind of want to have them come back because I felt like they were quite a dynamic duo together, because I feel like Jared was terrified of giving advice.
Yes.
And Jeff is very comfortable with giving advice, but he's terrified of joking around publicly.
Yeah, see, Jared, if we had been just a straight up people call in and we go, "Oh, you're being dumb, move on," Jared would have had plenty to say.
Yes.
But he knows that we try to be funny, but also give good advice and ride the line a little bit.
Yes.
We're not trying to tell you that you're a moron and
No.
And so, he was like,
it's
he was like,
vulnerable to
that
call
was
in.
hard.
You know what? I just want to say I appreciate that he acknowledged to you that it's difficult for us to do what we do.
All his podcasts are playing D&D.
Right.
So he's
Which is
that's a lot of fun.
But that's also very difficult for other
I think
people.
his podcast seems impossible.
I think that's absolutely watching Jared work during Vampire the Masquerade. Everybody check it out over on LPN TV. Check out Vampire the Masquerade. Watching him effortlessly build a world live
Crazy.
as we're doing something.
Could never do it.
That I could never do. But I really appreciate it. I just wanted to take that second because I wanted to acknowledge Jared for not only saying that to you, but coming back days later to be like, hey, we never got to talk about that. What you do is hard and you did a great job.
Did I do a good job? I go, yeah, you were great. He goes, that podcast is hard.
But didn't that make you feel good? Didn't it kind of make you be like, yeah, it is
we're
hard.
doing the hard. Look, we're doing the work. We're doing the hard work.
Look at us out there.
But last week's episode was, the best of the Bitchathon. And so you probably heard a little bit of it. But if you want to watch the whole thing, it's on the YouTube, which is youtube.com/@who's the bee. And please give us a little sub, even if you're not a big YouTube person, it would help us.
Give us a follow.
And now
really would
this is our
appreciate it.
second episode of the regular pod that's straight up on video. We're excited to be able
Bitchlings,
to.
do you see us?
Can you
Bitchlings,
see
can you
me?
hear us?
Here we are. So we had a call 2 episodes ago.
Oh yeah, speaking of testicles.
About a prior caller who had said that their husband was resisting getting a vasectomy, which obviously I was raging about, and so were several of our listeners. And we did get an interesting email that I wanted to share. I'm going to read this.
Please.
Hey, y'all. I'm listening to the story about the husband that doesn't want to get a vasectomy because it might get ouchy. And I just had to write in. I had, by all measures, a difficult vasectomy.
Oh, no.
Standard practice is for the doctor. And this is interesting because I didn't even think I understood what actually was happening. But he goes, standard practice is for the doctor to make one central incision and pull one vas deferens.
That's what they are, vas deferens. Nothing. That's not nothing but trouble in those nuts, Oscar.
Yep.
Right?
And pull one vas deferens, the sperm tube, out at a time. They get snipped, cauterized, and clamped before being sent back from whence they came. This usually takes 5 to 15 minutes per side for a total procedure time of maybe a half hour. For me, the right side went pretty smoothly. Doc was in and out in about 20 minutes because he had some trouble getting a hold of the tube, foreshadowing. The left side was another story. An hour and a half later, he had to call it because his hands were shot. He could not get the left tube. He sent me home to heal and scheduled part 2 for the next week. So I healed up exactly as you said. I sat on frozen peas for like 2 days and went back. He made the incision farther down on the left side this time, and it still took a hot minute, but home I went. Now, I'm not a manly guy, in case this harrowing tale has convinced you that I'm one of those dudes that could get shot in the ass and still carry my lieutenant out of the jungle. Especially...
Sorry. I really love that description of yourself.
That is what I was thinking about you originally, but now you're dispelling. He says, especially when it comes to medical stuff. I pass out every time I get my blood drawn. Needles make me turn green. So there's my story. I would rate my vasectomy at a 4 out of 10 on the pain scale.
Okay.
The recovery was like a 2. Honestly, it was not as bad as going to the dentist, at least when I got that one hygienist. She is mean with that hook.
Oh, some of them get in there.
Thank you for the show. Keep being awesome. Love you, Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
So our caller from 2 weeks ago, please play that for your husband. And that's a 4 out of 10. That's with something kind of going a little bit wrong. Chances are that's not going to happen. That's not happened to many of the men I've spoken to. And even then he said the recovery was like pain scale 2.
Can we just
pain scale is at a 9 or a 10 for giving birth, I would say.
9 or a 10, I would assume. Can we also just give a big shout out to Mark that wrote in, who did not have to share this vulnerable experience with us, but I appreciate your perspective. And I really just want to say thank you.
The bitchling community never disappoints.
Yeah. And it's hard. It's scary to say something like that, especially when, we're out here trying to get those balls snipped out. Snipped in, and then thrown back in.
Something goes in, something comes out.
Something comes out, and then it goes back in. So we are doctors now. And
it
so
seems to me like it's about as painful as my once monthly bikini waxes that I used to get. Brazilians once a month.
Now, do you not have to do it anymore? Does it go? It never comes back? Oh,
no,
I thought it just never comes back.
Well, no, I eventually got lasered on the outside, and like the other stuff I used to do, I just don't do that anymore.
Just don't need.
It was like when I was dating and young and wanted to feel the breeze on my nether regions.
I'm proud of you even for going through that, because I feel like I knew so many people that kept it completely clean during our 20s, and I was just like, how? I'm barely alive.
I found the cheapest place to do it in New York that still felt clean and like reputable.
Was it though?
It was.
Okay.
It was like, because it was just these, and like I would run into girls from college there. I was like, we all knew it was like a secret. It was like this great place, and they were just like Russian women. They were quick. They just got in there. But I will tell you, I also got fully Brazilian for both of my births.
Wow.
I got Brazilians at like 9.5 months pregnant both times.
Well, then, because I guess you don't have to deal with it at all.
I just didn't want to deal with it, and I wanted the doctor to have a clean, playing field.
That's really nice. Wow, that's.
I don't want anything going on down there. I just wanted to be
thinking about that.
So for anybody who had been wondering about that, do we have anything else we have to cover before we get into our solicited advice?
We can jump right in. I did want to get I did want to talk to you a little bit about James Van Der Beek and everything that's going on, but I guess it is very sad. So I understand if we don't want to. It's just really insane. I just want to quickly say that, like, I feel like what we should be taking from this story. There's so much of the internet that's like, you're going to give money to James Van Der Beek's rich family? It's like, that's the whole point. That's the thing, is that he didn't have the money and that he was trying to set up his family for success with all of his children.
I was confused why he didn't have insurance anymore. And I was like, wasn't he just on Don't Trust the Bee? And Natalie looks it up and goes, yeah, that show's from 14 years ago. And I was like,
14 years ago. That's
I truly thought I watched that show when I lived in LA, but it was like when I lived in New York. But that's number one. People forget that, like, you can be on a show, but if you're not working for, like, there are these credits that you can get when you're an actor or a writer, where if you make a lot of money, like, you get credits that hold you over for when you're not working.
But
if you're not working for years at a time, the way that James Van Der Beek wasn't because of his illness. I mean, Shannon Doherty, another 90s beloved person, went through the same thing.
Yes.
So not only that, the health insurance, the 6 kids, the whatever, all this. I'm happy that they're getting a GoFundMe, although some people have been bringing up that he denied Western medicine for a while on his treatment. Like, he denied some life-saving stuff because, like, was he like a homesteader, like anti-vax or what?
I think that they were trying to, maybe I'm just assuming because they had so many children, and I know that he bought like a ranch.
He was very Lord forward. He was Lord forward.
Yes. And so I think that there was a lot, and but I guess in that case, you don't have to give to the GoFundMe. You know what I mean? I feel like it's like, that's the thing. If you look at that and be like, well, he didn't choose the right medicine, and that's what he gets. Well, okay, then don't donate to the GoFundMe.
Everyone is like, grifters are going to grift. And I'm like, okay, but it's like a lady that's now alone with 6 kids.
Can we just think about the family?
I guess I'm going to let them have it.
And it's just overall, it's like, we all know, guys, health insurance is the bitch.
Yeah.
That is the biggest bitch of all. And shouldn't we be so torn asunder that we watch this happen of someone that is a household name? You're right. This person does not deserve any more than any of us. And a lot of also the backlash is people being like, well, I don't have anything either. Yeah. This is a much bigger problem. This is like, I think
what people are people are like, well, I'm sick, or my mom is sick, or whatever, and I'm not getting that. And it's like, but the people giving to James Van Der Beek's GoFundMe, we're not going to be giving.
They're not going to give to you.
Like, that was a different. That's just kind of the nature.
From the same pool.
That's and it's like, but I want everyone to have what they need. Our healthcare system is deeply broken.
Yes.
So
I'm not saying that we should all Luigi. I'm just saying it's an interesting perspective.
Yeah. I was wondering if the GoFundMe, it's not taxable too. So yeah. I mean, $2.5 million seems like a lot of money, and it is a lot of money.
But does it go far?
These
with
kids
6
are
kids?
little, and there's 6 of them, and I don't know what she does, but like, I don't know, 2.5 million will get you along for a very long time.
Yes.
But like, you got a 3-year-old? I don't know if it's going to take you for 15 years with all these other kids.
It's not. And people are like, but he just bought a house. It's like, I believe he also sourced with like friends to try and set it up because he knew he was about to die.
The bottom line is like, it's not our fucking business.
I know.
And everybody, if you have a personal connection to James Van Der Beek and you liked his work and you want to give his family a gift and after his death, then do that.
It's optional. Like, that's, I feel like people on the internet treat it like there's like, a gun to your head.
My taxpayer dollars are going to James Van Der Beek. It's like, they're not.
Also, you should be angry about where our tax dollars are going right now. So it's like, I get, having bitchy thoughts about everything else, man. How often I just keep saying to my algorithm, not pay taxes. How do we not pay taxes? How do we all come together and not pay taxes? I'm really trying to hold out hope that maybe none of us have to pay taxes, but apparently, if we're all going to do this, I think we all really got to do it, guys. So I think that we might not be able to get this effort together this year.
Oh, God. Okay, should we get started?
Is this depressing?
Is this, listen, today it's like pouring rain, flood watch in LA, and we're just in here being like, how can we stop paying taxes?
Yeah, and then we're also thinking about, but how do we get more vasectomies, less taxes,
Yes.
That's what we're out here
asking
for.
And the health insurance to cover your vasectomy.
The vasectomy. And not you having to beg, being like, I promise I don't want children, please don't. Don't worry, they don't do it to the men quite as much.
Let's get to our solicited advice. Jackie, please read our first email.
Gotcha.
You got
Hi, ladies. Love you both. All the compliments. Let's dive in.
Love it. Quick and to the point.
Today, I was supposed to go to my mother-in-law's to drop off some things and say hi, as sometimes my partner and I drop by to do this on weekends when we have time. My boyfriend was being weird when I asked him to call her to see if she was home. Then he told me he has had another tiff with his mom. Apparently today, the day after Valentine's Day, he got a dramatic text from her saying how upset she was that he did not even wish her a happy Valentine's. I remembered she had not included him in her daily Facebook post either, and now this makes sense. I love the daily Facebook post.
Like it's like here's what's going on today.
Oh, God.
Here are all the people that I don't want to succeed
What
today.
is it, your morning pages?
Yes.
Keep that for your journal,
on Facebook,
girl.
your morning
Yes.
pages.
My first thought was, oh, damn, I guess maybe we should stop to get her something, since part of the reason we were out by her house, which is kind of a drive away in the suburbs, is because we were running errands that way anyway. But then he read me the text. It's in Spanish, but basically it's this passive-aggressive text about how he is forgetting his mom on Valentine's Day. And I was like, you know what? No, he needs to stand his ground on this one. Am I the bitch for feeling like I am his only Valentine? Is she the bitch for being a weird boy mom who thinks her son is her Valentine even though she has a partner? Is Valentine's Day the bitch for being a kind of unofficial holiday where you're not sure who you have to wish a happy Valentine's Day to? For context, I love my mother-in-law, but she and my boyfriend have a strained relationship. Also, we live in the Twin Cities, and with everything going on, oh my God, with ICE, I'm sending you love, coming for immigrant families like ours and being trapped at home for 2 months and struggling with finances due to the takeover in our city, I feel like this is super trivial and was not even worth her mentioning. Me and my boyfriend did not even spend money on going out to eat and just had a night in eating takeout because we did not want to spend money on Valentine's this year, so naturally, we did not remotely think to give his mom a Valentine's Day gift. Let me know your thoughts on this one. From A and J.
Oh, A and J. Okay, so A is the writer, J is the boyfriend. All right. So I do kind of think that Valentine's Day is the bitch here in the sense that I just spent all of Valentine's Day week at my kid's school every damn day because there was a friendship dance and there were candygrams and there was all this stuff. Like, it is very much a non-romantic holiday. Also, it is like just a holiday
community
about love.
holiday.
It's
yes.
a holiday about love. In my family, I would never in a million years wish another member of my family a happy Valentine's Day. We just don't do that. But it sounds like for your mom-in-law, or your mother-in-law, I mean, it's your boyfriend, but we're just going to call your mother-in-law for all intents and purposes. She is like, no, this is a day you tell people that you love them. It doesn't sound like she even wanted a gift per se and was just sad that your boyfriend didn't reach out. So I feel like if we know this is the kind of thing that she likes and we text our moms on her birthday, on Christmas, maybe on New Year's, can we just add Valentine's Day to the list? And he sends her a little emoji or a gift that says, love you, mom, happy Valentine's Day. Don't spend money. I totally get that. And you're right. This is so trivial in the grand scheme of what's going on with your city and everything.
Oh my God,
but
yes.
At the same time, that's at the time where certain people are just looking for connection and are looking for anything that can make them feel normal. And maybe she was just like, fuck, I gave up a lot for my kid and I just want him to wish me a happy birthday.
Right.
I mean, or a happy Valentine's Day.
Feeling a little lonely.
And, and like, if she's like, I demand to be taken out for dinner and you ignore your girlfriend and you send me flowers, like, okay, now we're talking about
far.
Cuckoo Cachoo.
Yes.
But, I think if it's just like she wants a little acknowledgement on that day, I don't see the problem with doing that for his mom.
Yes, I don't.
Put a little reminder in your calendar that goes, send mom Valentine's Day text repeat every year.
I guess my big question, though, which I feel like I am getting the essence of this from this, is that this has not happened before.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel that I would be a little bit more annoyed with the mother-in-law, because you said that they have had strained a relationship and for other things. But why, I guess, are you curious as to why this Valentine's Day? Do you think that she was looking for a reason to start some shit? Like, where is the essence of the text coming from? Is it that she hasn't been getting enough attention and this was just a leaping off point? Like, is it not about the Valentine's Day specifically at all? Is it just an overdramatic mother that's looking for a little bit of attention?
And we can't know that. We don't know the history.
That's why I'm asking you. Like, I would love to hear an update, because that also would annoy me of like, oh, and now you all of a sudden need like, if this is always been a
we've gotten
thing.
them before where people are like, well, when it's Mother's Day and now I'm the mother, like, yeah, your mom falls back to your new partner,
right,
who had a baby with you,
but
or whatever.
Also, it changes in time. Like, for example, my parents, their wedding anniversary is Valentine's Day. And
oh my gosh.
I never sent them anything for Valentine's Day, because in my brain, it's not my anniversary. I don't feel that I need to celebrate their anniversary. But also, my mom never gave me shit about it. Until she didn't give me shit about it this year, but that's because this was the first year that it was without my father.
Yeah.
And I know that things change.
Yeah.
So I made sure to send my mom flowers, because I know that my dad always got her flowers on her wedding anniversary. And she reached out to me because it meant so much to her that usually that's not a holiday I would hit up my mom on. But it's the holiday has changed for our family. So I do wonder, like, what's going on with the mother-in-law that she needs a little bit extra right now.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It could literally just be the climate of what's going on where you live. I mean, like,
we all need a little extra love right now.
You said trapped in the house, like finances are strained. Everybody in your city is in the Twin Cities and other cities that have been affected by all this ice stuff around the country. It's a really super tough time. So I guess I'm just kind of like, you guys don't have to spend any extra money. I don't really think you have to go out of your way.
But I do think, let's take the essence of the whole situation. Maybe just reach out to her a little bit more about, like, randomly.
What's going on, Mom?
Rather than like, hey, I just saw this episode of The Pit. I thought of you. Well, maybe not The Pit, because I feel like she'll really look into why you thought about her while watching The Pit. So maybe that's a bad example. But of just regular, more
I watched that woman give birth to a baby on The Pit in the most graphic scene I've ever seen on HBO.
But, or encouraging your partner to hit her up, and maybe that you don't take any of this on and it's more of something you say to your partner of, maybe she needs a little bit of extra connection from you right now. How do you feel about that? Do you want to connect with her more, or do you want to be like, no, you were just really over dramatic about this Valentine's Day, so I'm not going to deal with any of this.
Yeah, it's like what Jackie said. We don't know the context. If she does shit like this all the time, then it's like, okay, grow up, and I guess you guys just ignore it and move on. But to me,
especially everything going on with, like, immigrant families like yours. I mean, it's a lot.
I just think it sounds to me from what you have presented that she is just a mom who wants to feel connected to her son. They have a strained relationship, and she used Valentine's Day as like as just like an excuse to be like, I'm not getting enough from you right now.
Which, believe me, I have an overdramatic mother as well. I get it. Yes. I do understand, because that's why I'm asking about looking into it a little bit further.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yeah, but let us know, because I would like to know. But like, yeah, if it's just like she wants a little text, throw it on the calendar.
Just text her. You know, it's really not. I don't think it's about a gift, though.
Yeah. All right, let's listen to this next voicemail.
Thank you for calling. Who's the bitch? Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hello, Kara and Jackie. Lovely bitchathon. Just listen to it. Wanted to share my BITCHuation with you guys, but there were some really awesome stories that got airtime, so pretty happy about that. Okay, so bitchathon. BITCHuation.
Thank you.
I have a partner. I'm married to him, and he is currently in the hospital with a nasty condition called rhabdomyolysis, which is basically when you exercise too hard or you have like injury where your muscles are crushed and your muscles start to die, and it can really mess with your kidneys if it's not caught early. Thankfully, we caught it early, and he's been in the hospital for a week now while we try to make sure that no organ damage occurs.
My God.
I think I know who the bitch is, maybe, but I need your advice. So he got this injury from, as I said before, some pretty intense exercises at CrossFit.
Oh, no.
I don't want to, shame people who do CrossFit. I think it's awesome. I am a boxer myself, love a high impact activity. But I guess where I don't know who's the bitch here is my partner is oh, you can't blame CrossFit. It's not CrossFit's fault. This happened to me. I should have known my limits. And I'm like, no, CrossFit's a cult. They push people to do really extreme things. Injuries are pretty common in people who start CrossFit because peer pressure is a main part of it. Of yeah, you can do it. Push through your mental barrier. You can do it. And it can lead to bad things like what happened to my partner. So I'm like, hey, maybe you quit this. Maybe we don't do this because if we didn't go to the emergency room, you could have been dead.
Oh
and he's
God.
Like, this helps me stay active and healthy, and I don't ask you to not do boxing, so why would you ask me not to do this? And I don't know. Am I the bitch for being like, hey, stop going to CrossFit, please? I want to be a widow. Or is he the bitch for not recognizing how serious the situation was? Or is CrossFit the bitch for pressuring people into doing really extreme workouts when maybe they're not ready to do that? Would love to know your take. I'm real tired of taking care of the house and everything.
Yeah.
And I just want to hear what you think. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Wow. This one is so good because, damn, I've had conflicted feelings about CrossFit for a long time. I used to work out at a gym when I first moved to LA that was a CrossFit gym, but I only did HIIT there. I only did high intensity interval workouts or whatever. And I loved that, but they made me take a 5-time CrossFit, intro 101, just in case, because I was a member of the gym, in case I ever wanted to pop over and do CrossFit, I would have to know how to do it.
Right.
And it was not for me at all because,
no.
The whole mind over matter, I'm like, no, my mind says this doesn't matter. And so I can't do it.
Yes.
But, I also have a brother who's a neurologist who told me that the most instances of strokes in young people are from people who do CrossFit. And there are a lot of injuries that come out of it. And I do think this is something that you really need to examine with your partner, very deeply, and do some research and figure it out. But I think maybe right now, while he's in the hospital, isn't quite the time to be it's almost like I told you so without saying I told you so. It's I would just wait until he's out and he's really on the mend and we're out of the woods with the organ failure. I'm sending you guys, we're sending you tons of love. I really hope nothing's wrong, long term. But I think that he's lying in bed right now. I'm sure he's thinking about all the ways that this has happened or whatever. Let's have a conversation a little bit down the road where it's listen,
100%.
It's completely not the same as
boxing.
Well, listen,
it's not the same as boxing.
Boxing has there are brain injuries that can come from boxing. Have you had one of those? Are you doing competitive boxing? Because I do boxing where I just hit a bag and I freaking love it. But are you competitive boxing? Because in that case, he has a point that there are ways you could get extremely injured by getting popped in the face the wrong way or whatever, So, but if you're not, then he's honestly comparing apples and oranges and it's not really the same thing. So I feel like there's a lot of ways he can stay healthy and fit that are not this push yourself to the fucking limit or you're not in the group anymore type of, because you're not the first person to describe CrossFit as a cult.
Because especially like you just said, being a part of the group, and as someone that I enjoy group exercise classes,
Yeah, me too.
I like the feeling of being with other people and getting through it together, and I do love that. There's so many ways in which you can move your body, and I know that a lot of us, we get trapped into thinking, this is the only thing that I like, this is the only thing that is going to
Work for me.
that's going to work for me. And it's because we get so myopic, especially when you're working with other people that are like, this is the only way.
Because there's also like, so lifting is becoming a huge thing right now on its own. Just lifting. He can go lift. He can do all this stuff. It doesn't have to be the like, I don't know.
I do wonder if it's, like Kara said, now is not the time. Right now is not. Wait until he's about to like start getting back into it. And then that's really when it's like I think we need to have a much bigger conversation about this, because I do feel that you have every right to feel that this is a big thing, that this is very important to what is happening in your relationship and to you as well. And I do believe that your partner needs to understand that he is now he is negatively affecting you with his choices of continuing to do CrossFit. And how is he going to deal with that? Is that something that's like, are you just going to continue? Even though I am saying, and I do feel that you'll have more of an ability to say, I'm standing on business with this, once you have a little bit of perspective from this experience. Once you can be like, because I'm never going through that again. I'm not doing this again. And then you can be a little bit more forceful, a little bit further out, because right now he can't hear it. He's not going to hear it. He's not going to, because I imagine also there's got to be a part of him that's like, I'm doing this to myself. Not only am I doing this to myself, I'm paying to do it for myself. So I think I imagine his brain's all over the place, especially when you're sitting in that hospital bed with stuff going over and over and spiraling in your brain, which I hope that he's not going through that. I would definitely be going through that, and I definitely would want to make some changes, because they're being given an opportunity to make a change, and everything was caught. It might not be the same next time. And I do think that you can bump it up to that level. I don't think that that's like, I don't think that that's threatening. I feel, and if you do competitive boxing, and this is something that he really does truly feel like he does not want you to get hit in the head anymore, how would you feel about that? Genuinely.
Yeah.
If that is where, one thing if you're just taking a bunch of boxing classes and hitting the bag and doing, not that I'm saying that that's nothing, because I know it's very difficult to do, but.
I love that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, get that aggression out. Get it out.
Oh yeah. I just picture Trump's face on a bag and I go to town.
Punch it.
It's so great.
I'm so sorry that you guys are going through this, because what a horrible way to find out that CrossFit is not a good fit for your partner. And I wish you guys only the best, but please let us know how the conversation goes when he's out of the hospital.
Yeah, and I think maybe like do a little bit of like research. Like I'm on an NIH website right now about rhabdo and CrossFit, and it's like it's doctors warn against this, like, and it doesn't matter that it was your choice to go push yourself. Nobody like was, I don't know, nobody like was looking out, and like you. Also, it's different. There should be safeguards in place. There shouldn't be something where you're pushing yourself till you get something that breaks down your fucking organs, possibly.
That's the thing. And
That's
it's
crazy.
Also specifically being pushed to such an extreme, which I know that alights some people and that like pushes them to, but it's not a personal trainer. That, or if you are, and I don't even know, I'm assuming that there are CrossFit personal trainers, like somebody that is directly one-on-one looking at you as the partner is doing it. But how expensive is that?
Yeah.
So I just, as someone like my husband has gotten really heavy into lifting over the last year, but he's been working with a personal trainer the entire time. So, because I know that he would push himself too far. And I know that he would.
Yeah.
And so it's
or you
a
have the wrong form and you could just hurt your back. I mean, there's a million little smaller injuries than what your husband has. And like, I just hope. Yeah, I think let's gather some information.
Yes.
Let's
bring the receipts,
present
bring
it,
the proof,
the timelines, everything to get him to quit CrossFit. But I don't think it's crazy for you to say you have the worst outcome. The worst outcome that can come from CrossFit essentially has happened to you.
So how about we
one
don't
of the
keep
worst
going?
outcomes? So I think we need to shift our focus to a different. That's not saying you can never lift weights. That's not saying you can never do a box jump. Like you
so
can do
much out
these
there.
other things.
You
But
go get
this
those
is
ropes and you get to slapping those ropes.
There's like
flipping the
Orange
tires.
Theory and all these other things you can do that are similar to CrossFit. I don't know, dude. Like let's.
I'm just so the opposite. Someone invited me not that long ago. There's this it's like an Australian company and they get in your face and they're screaming at you and
it was right next to the place I worked out.
And so many people have told me Jackie, you should totally try this. I was like, that doesn't motivate me. Me getting yelled at, not gonna do it. If you're gonna yell at me, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna go get a coffee somewhere.
Yeah.
I need support. But not in a way.
Yeah, wait, what is that place called? Now I'm dying to know.
With it's like boot
training
camp,
mate.
Training, yes.
Training mate.
Training mate. And they get it, and it's I don't want somebody yelling. I don't need to be yelled at.
But even you can get, if your husband is into getting yelled at, he can do that at Barry's
somewhere
and not get a awful muscle illness. Anyway, I'm really sorry that you guys are going through this, and I think that once he has a little bit more of this in the review and he can sort of process his feelings around it, hopefully you guys can have a very informed and mature conversation about alternatives, because I was just talking last week to someone and being I think CrossFit's kind of fallen by the wayside.
Yeah.
Because I feel so many people were getting injured that it was this big thing a few years ago, and I don't hear about it as much anymore.
But the cult is still out there. The cult is culting, y'all, because that's the thing. When you're in that juicy, beautiful bathwater of being in a cult, you don't think about all the sharp knives of reality that exist.
Well, this next email is not related, but not totally off the subject. Hi, ladies. Love you both. Longtime listener of your shows. Cutting to the chase, one of my best friends was institutionalized for an eating disorder before she met her now husband, another one of my best friends. I knew him first, and he is unaware of her eating disorder history. My issue is she cares too much about my weight. I'll catch her staring at me, and she'll be like, oh, I was just noticing your boobs, but she was obviously staring at my stomach. And then she suggests I get on weight loss injection drugs, which I will not do. It's true that I want to lose weight, but it upsets me that my friend seems to be obsessed with it. And that, my friends, is a very concise email. That is a 7-line email that gives me everything I need to know. Dude, that is so annoying. Jackie, do you want to hop on this first?
Yeah, how about none your business? How about none your damn business? But the problem is, this is someone that has a condition, has a trauma, and obviously has many multiple triggers. And I'm very happy that she had gotten the help that she needed, and I'm hopefully that she's still in the process of therapy and still working her way through it, because it is something that doesn't just go away very easily.
It is a bit of a red flag to me, though, that the husband doesn't know about the eating disorder history.
Yes.
Is that a red flag?
I would say her now husband not knowing about it, I would seem
you were hospitalized for it? I mean, that seems like you're
not
share.
Currently dealing with what is going on. And maybe this is her way of, is it a cry for help?
Yeah.
Is it being seen because you are someone that knows her past? And unfortunately, I think this has nothing to do with you. I think this completely has everything to do with how your friend is seeing the situation. But I get your feeling of someone looking at what you're eating and commenting on your body. And I'm not saying you should have any patience for it, but I think it is giving the grace of recognizing this is something that she is unable to control, obviously, or at least in the way that she is dealing with it coming out of her mouth. And I imagine she's having a lot of thoughts about, especially to not tell the husband about it, and the shame that she must feel, and how she feels about her experience that she's got to go get help about. because it's not shameful to go get help. It's not, and having an eating disorder itself is not shameful.
And if she's like everything I've learned in my therapy and my being institutionalized, as you said, everything I've learned there is to tell me not to hyper-focus on my body. And so she's looking outward and she's hyper-focusing on someone else's body. And that's not okay. That's not okay.
Not okay.
And I think it's okay for you to just say, hey, I think it's best for your mental health and for mine if we just don't discuss GLP-1s. We don't discuss weight loss. If I need any help with weight loss, I will go to somebody that I don't feel it will trigger. And I love you. You're my good pal, but let's just, for the best of us, I would lay that boundary down for her because that will help her turn it off. And she's like, I'm not allowed to talk about this with this person.
Because the thing is does she recognize that she's even doing it?
Yeah.
And I feel that this is most likely in her brain, the perspective is, I'm trying to help my friend. I'm seeing something that I had issues with in obviously a very different manner and putting the issues my friend must also have these same issues, which, as someone that has a lot of trauma and a lot of issues with eating, I understand that and have also recognized, and in my time alive of also recovering from an eating disorder, it's understanding that what a person puts in their body has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with you. And you're so, with an eating disorder, at least for me personally, you're so obsessed with the thought of eating, of the dynamic of everything, because you need food to live. So it's not like getting past a different kind of addiction where you just
drugs,
never touch it
you could
ever
just
again.
get away from them. Yeah.
It's how we change our brains and our own journey with what we put inside of our body. And I'm not saying this is on the writer to be like, you need to go do this to your friend, but is there a way in which you think that you could talk to your friend of are you talking about what's going on in there? Of just asking hey, do you, if she brings it up again after you've set the boundary, and rather than being don't talk about me like that, it's what's going on?
Yeah.
What's happening? Is it, and not even in a way of just shifting the subject, because maybe she needs to talk to you about it. Maybe she needs to talk to somebody about it.
Mm-hmm. Her own stuff, not your
stuff. Her own stuff. That's what I mean. She needs to talk about it. And you're not her therapist, but maybe just holding out your hand.
Yeah.
And it is, back to what we were even talking about before. It's it's community. We need each other. We need to help each other in our community with tough subjects such as these, because there's not an easy roadmap to surviving an eating disorder. And it is something that is going to evolve and change in a person's brain for the rest of their life. So,
but if she's like, no, I'm in therapy, I'm all good, I'm just worried about you.
Oh,
and
no.
This is not.
That's when it's, then that is where my patience
we don't talk
stops.
about this.
Yes, because you're not going to put your comments on my body.
Yeah. I had there was this girl in college that had just a permanent stank face on all the time. And I remember so vividly this one time I was standing a little bit far away from her, and she was just staring at my legs because I was wearing shorts, and I went like this, everything okay? I did this with my arm. Sorry if you're listening to this, you can't really tell, but I waved my as if to break her.
Brown.
Basically to basically to break the spell. She's like, oh, sorry, I was just kind of zoning out. I was like, no, I mean, you were fully just focused on my legs for a 3 minutes that we've been trying to have a conversation. Yeah. But that was college when everybody had an ED, it was crazy. So, but I think, for your own mental health, for her mental health, I would set a boundary around this. But then Jackie's saying, if you do feel like it is maybe the kind of thing where she's reaching out, she's not talking to her husband about it, maybe you could just reach out and be
man,
are you talking to anybody about your stuff? Is everything good? It
just it hurts my chest. It's horrible that it is still such, even treated in media, EDs are such a scary topic of it's like almost as if you speak about it, it makes it real, where it's like, it's real, guys.
I was just noticing your boobs also is such a
noticing your boobs.
Such a cop-out.
Yes.
Because I do feel like that's what girls say all the time when they're kind of looking you up and down and checking out your body.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, oh, I was just looking at your boobs. Like, wow, it's so great. You have such big boobs or whatever. And it's like, what? Like,
I mean, I am always thinking that when I look at Kara, I'm always thinking about how I know she's got good big ones under there.
But like people also have like, I wish my boobs were a lot smaller, you know? Like,
right?
It doesn't offend me when you're looking at my boobs.
No,
but like,
I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
and I'm not actually only looking at your breasts. I'm not looking at the caftan being like, but what's underneath, you know?
There? But you know what? It's like that is like a cop-out. People are like, no, but the only part of a woman's body that can be big is boobs. So yeah, that's what I was looking at. You know?
Exactly.
Like, it's like, God, I'd love these babies to be a little bit smaller. But I hope you work this out with her. Let us know what happens. This is like tough stuff because you can't take on other people's like issues when it's affecting you negatively, you know? So,
but thank you for the direct, those, you know, to the point.
Direct. Okay. Let me get to the next voicemail.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch. Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hey, gals. This is a super low stakes BITCHuation for you. So I have two neighbors. They are two separate people. They don't live in the same house. I don't know either of them. One has a really old truck that is hideous, ancient, and is not fit to be on the road, but it has a really, really, really sensitive alarm system. The other neighbor has a car with a really, 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 really loud muffler.
Oh, no.
And he loves to zoom really fast between the two speed bumps on my street. And every time this car drives past the truck that's parked, the alarm goes off. The truck's alarm goes off multiple times every single day.
Oh, my God.
Which one is the bitch? Both of them? This street is crazy. I live, I'll let you guys guess what neighborhood I live in.
Whoa.
Okay. Bye.
It's like a little Lightning McQueen. Wait, did they say they were in LA? I'm going to go. Maybe they're in LA.
But if you're in LA, it's like I still couldn't guess.
Yeah.
Every neighborhood here is crazy.
With
like
the speed humps.
I live on a double wide street.
Yeah.
So cars with the mufflers. This is like they just are constant with the loud mufflers drag racing down my street. And I'm going to go ahead and say right off the top, fuck the guy with the loud muffler.
Yeah.
Fuck all these people with loud mufflers.
Yeah.
There is nothing you can tell me to say that those noise pollutant motherfuckers are doing anything that is within their rights. And that is, you want to talk about community, Jackie? You want to talk about community?
You're right.
When did we decide as a community that some people are allowed to fucking have a muffler that rattles the streets beneath our feet?
I understand, Kara. I feel like anybody that's got like the car that's so loud that it doesn't need to be that loud, I feel like it's up there with me with people that sneeze too loudly. You can control it.
You could not be doing that.
The ones that do that, where it's like they scare everybody. It's like, stop it. You know you can control that.
It's like even people talk about motorcycles and they've told me, they're like, because I've been like, oh, motorcycles. And people are like, well, motorcycles need to be seen. So they're loud so that people don't turn into them. Okay, I guess I can be okay with that on the highway or whatever. But like, just driving down residential streets where babies are sleeping, people are trying to have conversations, people are practicing their musical instruments, whatever the fuck. Why do I have to listen to your loud muffler? Why do I have to?
And the thing,
I sound like such a fucking old like white lady right now. But I'm like, I don't understand. Like no one can tell me, like in my neighborhood, I live in like a primarily Latino neighborhood, which I love. And there's fireworks at all different kinds of shit, the Dodgers, different holidays, whatever. And I never have complained and I never will. And I love fireworks.
Yes.
No problem. People that are like, I have dogs, I hate the fireworks. It's like, okay, but like you moved into this neighborhood and this is culturally what they've done foreverhood and that's fine. Where in the culture does it say anything about mufflers. I need to know.
I
need to know
this.
where in your culture it says, like in anybody's culture, it says
Mufflers.
our mufflers have always been a part of like a deep-rooted,
Big,
like
strong, make
I
them
can't.
girthier. Yes.
Yeah, like I can't. It's so, they scare me sometimes. I mean, they truly give me like a jump. My kids get really upset when they hear them. Like, it's just.
My problem is I can't stop myself from every time being like, oh, do we have to see how big your cock
I always go,
Oh,
look how big
is
that
your
guy's dick is.
I have to say the same.
Because let me also say, it's never a woman. It's never a woman. It's never a non-binary person. It's never a trans person. I'm sorry if you are a trans person watching our live stream. You're watching this episode and you're like, my car's loud as fuck. I'm still, you let me know and I will amend. But it is always a fucking man, and it is always usually a young man that is trying to just get attention and say, look, fucking look at me.
Peacocking out there, and
So
they gotta get their peacock on.
Between these two guys, listen, your neighbor with the ugly, hideous, ancient truck is like, maybe that's all he can afford right now.
Right?
You know, times
and with
are
the
tough.
sensitive alarm system, that sucks.
It's so funny because it's like no one wants to steal your truck, babe.
No, yeah,
So you don't need the alarm.
You can
Let's
just take that
Why
off
don't we
it.
just dismantle it?
You know what it is about this story that actually annoys me the most? It's that it's between the speed humps. And I'm throwing it out there. I don't know if it's called speed humps everywhere, but in Florida, I'll never forget because
humps
it
here.
Is,
It says humps.
Oh, that's
It
right.
says humps on the
here.
ground.
And so there's, I love, and I know there is a difference between humps and bumps. And I believe that people have told me this before, but I do love like specifically calling them speed humps. And there's something about him going hump to hump while he's got to use his big muffler that
like gunning it in between the humps.
In between the humps. That annoys me more than any of it. If it was like a full open way, I guess have at. But between, you gotta go hump to hump. You have to do this. And it would just, make me want the top of that hump to hit the bottom of that car. Oh, baby.
But I have to say,
But what do we do about the
I don't
situation?
think there's anything to be done because you can't ask your neighbor to like not have an alarm system on his car. That's his right. And best of luck asking any of these fucking muffler guys to not have one. I don't know how that would work. I think you have to wait for the guy's truck to die.
I think so. Or it's like if you feel that there is in any way that you can go and plead to this person to be like, make something up. I've got a 2-month-old. Can you please not do this literally right here anymore? It's a lie. If you think that maybe you might have a chance at being like, or it's just going to make him love it even more. I don't know how sadistic this motherfucker is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you still are neighbors. That's why I'm saying you can't go all in out war. Like the problem is that I feel like I used to get so upset in living in the city when we were in New York, when people would complain about being too loud in New York. You're on top of each other. We're in the city. We're going to be loud and it's going to be late.
Yeah.
And I felt like when you're living on top of each other, that's par for the course.
Right.
You know, I feel that is a part of it. But if you're in a neighborhood that has speed humps, I feel like
somebody went through the trouble to
make you
go to town
slower.
hall and get these speed humps installed.
Somebody cares in your neighborhood.
But you don't care if you're a 23-year-old dude with a loud muffler. You don't give a fuck about that. I don't know how you do anything. But I also don't want to encourage you to call the cops on this kid.
No, because that's not going to do anything.
Because you do. I've been in court with people in traffic court, at least here in LA, with people that have to get their mufflers adjusted because they're too loud.
Yeah.
And
my problem is, I'm going to be real with you guys. Out the gate, this is not what the answer is. But my problem is I can't get past I would go talk to him if this were me and what I think I would do, which is never actually the case. I'm like, I'll go talk to him. And if he doesn't do it, I'm gonna slash his tires. But I think that I want to be the badass that will go and slash the tires. You don't want to escalate the situation. I know that's not the answer.
Yeah.
But man, sometimes thinking about keying a car just really lights my
the sound
spirit
of
on
that
fire.
hiss when you get a little knife through the tire.
And I'm not telling you to do this. You shouldn't do it. Oh, but I bet you think I'm doing it. I mean, maybe it's it gets to a point where, oh no, he's got a crack because a rock hit the windshield and you got to go fix that. I'm not saying we're going to make
things keep
this
happening
person
mysteriously to the car in the neighborhood.
Say that we're
going to
what
I also
make his life a
do
living
love
nightmare. It's just
I love an anonymous note. I love an anonymous note. You could write a note that's like, hey,
Yeah, but I would
Like,
do it even more if I got an anonymous note.
I know, and just being like, hey, you're zooming, your muffler is setting off the neighbor's car alarm multiple times a day. Do you mind slowing down in the neighborhood? You could just try it. I don't think it'll do anything. I mean, you could just try it, like a Post-it. Hey, a couple of us, like, but not the kind of shitty neighbor thing that ends up going viral. I just mean like a hey. I've just been noticing because I live around here. Don't be like I'm your next door neighbor, you know?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Just
and
somebody
you just
in the
stick
neighborhood,
it to the car and see if there's any way you could slow down between the speed humps.
Would this person know it's you?
Or can you just slow down when you're driving past number 437 or whatever the one is, the guy with the truck, because you keep setting his alarm off and it's making me nuts.
Oh, I think if you say that in the note, I think that it's literally blaming the truck that is making all of the noise and just being like, could you not?
Me, myself, I love your muffler.
Love the muffler.
I don't care about it. I love it. I myself love a loud muffler. It's just that when you're here, you're setting off this guy's this old ass
and if
alarm.
you could just not do this would really make, and who knows? Maybe right now, because we keep talking about community, maybe this is going to change this guy. It's probably not. But maybe this is going to do it. Don't get your hopes up. But what
I think
if
we
it
have
does?
to wait until that old truck becomes no longer street legal and your problems go from 2 to 1.
I guess that's also the problem is that or you go to the other guy, and be like, is there any way we can like cut the security alarm? Can we just like take this in so that your alarm doesn't go off anymore?
This feels like so straight out of Nextdoor. Like I don't even know.
That's why I love following Nextdoor.
Yeah, the judge and jury of Nextdoor would say about like, hey, can we just cut your alarm, dog? No one's taking your freaking old ass ugly truck.
It's ugly. Nobody's taking it.
But it's like, I guess if the guy knew how to do that, he probably would have done it already. Like.
Or would he?
Doesn't like
what
going
if he doesn't give a shit?
T-Body doesn't like going outside to shut his alarm off 6 times a day.
Yeah.
He's probably like, pesky kids with their mufflers.
That or he's not hearing it, so it just goes off and off and off, which would also drive me crazy.
Oh my God.
See, my problem is I also work oftentimes from my house and I need it to be quiet. But the problem is then I hear everything, and that's why I've complained about and there's like a construction site that's not far from, and I hear it, and I hear it all, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I just need you to know you're not alone in feeling so alone when it's really loud in the neighborhood. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to one. Thank you so much. By the way, this caller's name is Maddie. They called back to say sorry to give you my name and love the podcast.
Love
and
you,
all
Maddie.
That.
And I'm so sorry that you're dealing with this because, loud mufflers get my goat.
Yeah. Again, somebody let me know if I'm like missing a huge piece of a cultural history of people that like to drive with their fucking mufflers, but it's making me crazy. It's a noise pollution on another level.
Get your muffs up.
I don't like when people have their TikTok videos loud either, but that's a little bit like you can walk slower, faster, get around them. Like you cannot avoid a person with a loud, and they are tearing down my street every day. So I get it. I feel your pain, but I don't have the guy with the alarm.
Yikes.
Okay. Let's get to our final submish here.
Let's do it. Hi, Kara and Jackie. Love you both. Really enjoying the podcast and your ever thoughtful advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
In short, I'm short too. In short, I find myself outraged and I need to know who's the bitch here. Myself, my husband, or the insurance company? Well, I already know what my answer is. They say. So, my husband is trans. He's in the process of transitioning physically and recently changed his legal name and gender. Congratulations. He received his new birth certificate, precipitating a week of endless emails, phone calls, and visits to government agencies to update his details. Government departments proved themselves mercifully efficient, if you can believe that. I almost did not. The bank, the Department of Births, Deaths, and Marriages, the Department of Transport, the Electoral Roll, Medicare, P.S. We're Australian, if this is all sounding unfamiliar, all processed this change with the decorum, if not disinterest, one would expect in such establishments.
I was like, it's not that I don't understand the names of these places. It's that I didn't even understand anody doing anything efficiently in the government.
That's more what the issue was.
Very glad you clarified up top about Australia.
Thank you. Today's mission was to change the details with the car insurance company. After 3 emails back and forth with Alvin, who stubbornly reported that though he acknowledged my husband's legal name and gender change, their system was set up only to record gender assigned at birth, so his name and title would have to remain as they were, and that this, quote, would not affect his insurance coverage at all. Wait a second about that. Despite simultaneously needing all, quote, all details to give us to be legally correct, otherwise any claims you make could be impacted or denied. Superb cognitive dissonance, Alvin. Thanks. Disgusting and probably illegal. Complaint is in process. I'll go ahead and flag Alvin as a bitch here. Yeah, I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
But let me continue. So my husband leaves the email thread to rot and gets on the phone to the insurance company, where the operator, with no fuss whatsoever, changes the required details in mere minutes and then proceeds to let my husband know that, quote, because of the changes we've made here today, you'll be getting a $3.80 refund on your policy. That should come through to your account in the next week or so. My husband was stoked. Sorry, is that $3.80? Like, is that?
I'm doing it right now. Okay, so that's $2.69 in American, but still.
Okay, $2.69 in American. My husband was stoked. I'm sorry. What now? You get a $3.80 refund for not legally being a woman anymore? Is that what is happening here? Is the insurance company the bitch for financially rewarding men for existing and insinuating women are worse drivers? Am I the bitch for being flabbergasted at the situation and outraged over $3.80? Is my husband the bitch for enjoying a new life of male privilege? Big love, bitches. Sarah.
Sarah, this is fucking nuts.
Wow, dude.
I mean, how can we be surprised? There's like a pay gap. There's, your husband's moving on up. Like, life is going to be better for your husband, I think, as a man than it is for women. But I'm just kidding, mostly because trans people are wildly having to deal with way more shit. But like, that is crazy that you get that they just say, but you know, isn't it like more expensive to insure a red car versus a black car? Like, there's just statistics,
right? Just of
about
certain statistics,
but so are there statistics that women get in more accidents, and that's why men pay lower insurance premiums? Because I think men drive more aggressively, but women can sometimes drive more.
But isn't it the kind of thing that underneath like the age of 25, regardless, like you're fucked either way? I guess, but it's also, that's not in Australia. We're talking about, we're talking about Australia. Here. So even just the fact, I would have flipped out. This reminds me of every time you get like you get a check from Disney or something, that when you're for residual check, where it's like, you spent the time to send me a check
for
56 cents. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, what are we even doing here?
The postage, the paper, the envelope.
Why are we even doing this?
To more than.
I love the outrage of insisting, though, that it's because of the downshifting of becoming, like, for some, and the upshifting for others from a woman becoming a man. And I love that it's, only $3.80. I actually am kind of surprised they're not congratulating a person even more about, like, welcome to the better side. It's easier over here.
I mean, I guess if you want to be like a massive bitch with a lot of time on your hands, you can call the insurance company and say, what are we each paying? And go, why is there a difference?
Why is there a difference?
But they're always going to say that the difference is based on your driving records and stuff like that.
Or your own, like, personal background.
Your husband obviously had the same driving record before. The only thing that's changed is...
Yeah. But $3 a day. And also, how long did that accrue for? Was this like cents on the dollar? You should tell your
husband that you refuse to cash it.
Yes.
I refuse to benefit off of the, the Australian government disrespecting women.
Yeah, just get it. Actually, you should get it framed and put it up,
That is so funny.
I mean, I know that Henry and Natalie keep all of the residual, like every time it's underneath 25 cents, they'll put it up on their fridge and they keep them all up on the fridge. So the whole fridge is just covered with just shitty checks that were barely worth writing in the first place. I mean, you should definitely have outrage just at the whole system in general. And I'm assuming the fact that you were even able to navigate the Australian system to make this happen, I'm proud of you, because it is all of rigmarole.
I mean, when I'm looking at this, well, the internet right now is saying that women pay more than men for car insurance in only 4 states, and that on average, women pay about $33 less a year than men because men engage in, like I said, higher risk driving behavior. But women pay more in some other states and with specific insurance profiles.
And women
I'm sure
typically pay less for life insurance.
Oh, yes, that's for sure.
So that is also, that makes sense as well. Sorry, I'm just thinking about all the different insurances and how they try to decide, oh, this is why we're going to bend you over.
Yeah.
Oh, for all of these reasons, this is why we're going to do it. But yeah, man, at least we get them with life insurance, guys.
Yeah, but
so get those life insurance
in the
policies.
U.S., even auto is usually favors women. So Australia, what you got going on over there?
Wow, what do they know that we don't know?
Yeah.
Just women are shittier. And isn't that great? We want to know more about
What
that.
if they're like, this is actually your bonus for transitioning? Congratulations.
Wow.
That's how progressive Australia is. They're like, we just want to congratulate you.
No guns and congratulations.
Yeah.
This is all
okay, according to the Google AI overview, which I hate AI, but I'm just saying we're hosting a podcast right now. I don't have time to do a deep dive, but it says that even in Australia, women generally pay less for car insurance than men. So I don't know what's going on with your company.
What is
but I just thought this was so funny because I loved how outraged you were.
Yeah,
like at first I thought this was going to be all about Alvin, and I was like, fuck Alvin.
Oh, I was immediately against Alvin. I need you to know.
It's so stupid because if you had just canceled your plan and gone back and registered as a new person, then they would have put down his current, gender.
Right. And I've been on a personal health insurance battle as of recently. Like I've been really on quite, I'm gonna make them all know my name by the end of this. And so sometimes when you're in the middle of a battle, this is a battle of the wills, it gets to a point where it's like, I will fight. This is Sparta. It's like, just give me the insurance I'm paying for. But I love being outraged at situations like this. I mean, I guess I love it because it seems to be one of my part-time jobs. So I feel like we have to tell ourselves that we love it so that we keep fighting them every step. But maybe that's just for me. Maybe I've just been having problems. Have I been having problems? I'm not bringing up Luigi again. I just think that it's just, there's a lot of upset and outrage out there.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's why we shouldn't put it all towards the James Van Der Beek GoFundMe and things like that, because even then when people say that's not what GoFundMe is for, but it is.
Dude, remember when we all did a GoFundMe back in 2010 or 11 for a comedian who does have a podcast at this network to get a new pair of shoes?
Oh, yeah.
That comedian could have gone out and gotten a job and gotten more shoes.
Oh, yes.
And people, and I said, that GoFundMe is ridiculous. And I didn't give, and other people did, and he got his shoes. Good for them.
He needed new shoes.
And good for them. And good for him, he got his shoes.
I mean, remember the potato salad? Was it a potato salad? The person that made the $250,000 potato salad. And they're like, if I get this much money, I'm going to make potato salad. And everybody's like, potato salad. Do you remember this?
No.
Am I making this up?
This
Maybe
is
I'm
a
making
dream
this up.
you had, I think.
Oh, God. And it's all about potato salad.
The potato
and it's all
salad
about
dream.
whether or not you put hard-boiled eggs inside of the potato salad, because I am vehemently against hard-boiled eggs inside of the potato salad.
Oh, I kind of think that sounds good.
See, and I think a lot of people think it sounds good, but I'm just not a hard-boiled egg person, and nothing drives me crazier than if I'm eating potato salad and I put my fork into it and I put it in my mouth, and it's not a big creamy potato, but it's a
smushy piece of egg. I get that.
It's a smushy piece of egg.
I get that. That's a trick.
And these are the kind of things that we should also stay angry about. We got to
Keep
frothed.
the anger up. Stay strong, everybody.
Stay
Keep
frothed
going.
together. We can be frothed forever.
We can overcome shitty potato salad recipes. Guys, that is our show for today. Thank you so much, as always, for listening. Go give our YouTube channel a little subscribe, watch our videos. We're Who's the Bitch LPN on Instagram. And as always, who'sthebitch.com is ready and waiting for you to discover all the ways that you can submit your bitchuation to us.
Legs gaping, just ready for your thoughts.
Yeah, just make sure when you're writing to us that you're giving us good, pertinent details. You're not being vague. We cannot read things that are like, and then something happened, and then this happened. But we have to know what the something is,
this is the
or
thing.
we can't talk about it.
We loved how succinct the one email was,
Yes.
but also we didn't need quite as much
context.
information.
Yep.
So I feel that it's also, so remember that we do love the devil's in the details, y'all.
We do love a detail.
We do love
but you can't,
ourselves a detail.
We can't be, we can't jump over big chunks of the story, just assume that we can fill in the gaps because we can't.
And also, if you want to fill us in about something, some part of your story, and ask us to specifically not bring it up on air, we can do that too.
Yeah.
You can definitely include part of it being like, for context for you
This
guys.
is this. Yeah.
But please don't bring that up. Dude, we can navigate around difficult situations. We understand if you're like, I don't want everyone to know that this is me.
That's probably easier in email form only because there's no time limit. But yes.
So I'm just letting you guys know, who'sthebitch.com. Get in your bitchuations. We do high stakes, low stakes. We love hearing from you because also we definitely love sending out a little bitchlet.
And do.
Check out Who's the Bee over on Instagram, and you can get all of our information there.
Who's the Bitch LPN is where we put up our little bitchlets.
Yes. So check that out. And remember that you should be following us on the Instagram, because if you're not, you're missing out on the perfect memes that I make every week.
Memes that come out of this little brain over here. You guys are missing out if you're not on the IG.
This brain, you know what it is? It's because I don't know how to Photoshop and I don't know how to actually make anything. So I've used weird ways to cobble things together.
It out, and it's crazy.
So guys, come join us on the journey. Check out Who's the Bitch LPN and get at us, who'sthebitch.com, for all of your other questions, concerns, queries, follows, subscriptions. We need ya. And we love hearing from ya.
See you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.